Before we pray, close your eyes for a second, breathe slowly, lay your worries aside, and let the peace of God touch your heart. This is the sacred moment of encountering Him. Some days, even getting out of bed feels like a battle. The body is tired, the mind overwhelmed, and the heart burdened with invisible worries. But today, Isaiah 40 brings us a living promise. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Maybe that's where you are, exhausted, discouraged, trying to hide your weariness behind a smile. God knows your limits and doesn't condemn you for feeling like this. He invites you to rest in Him. There's no shame in being weak. The shame would be walking alone when heaven is ready to carry you. Leave your prayer request in the comments. We want to pray for you and your family. And if you're not subscribed to this channel yet, take this moment to subscribe, turn on notifications, and receive new prayers. You don't have to be strong all the time. Just trust, because those who wait on the Lord, though they may seem defeated to the world, are being lifted quietly by the hands of the Almighty. Lord, here I am with everything I carry. I place at your feet the exhaustion that drains me, the thoughts that steal my peace, and the pressures that overwhelm my soul. I don't want to pretend I'm strong when I'm not. I want to surrender in your presence and say with honesty, I need you. I need your strength to uphold me where mine runs out. The days have been long, the responsibilities heavy, and sometimes I feel like I'm barely holding on. But today, I choose to trust, not just to believe in you, but to rest in the truth that you are with me every step of the way. Even when everything inside me says I can't go on, I hand you this burden. You are the God who renews the weary. You are the breath that revives the crushed. Come, Lord, breathe your life into me. Renew my spirit, restore my inner self, reignite my faith. I don't want to keep walking on autopilot. I want to be moved by your presence. I want to walk in lightness, with purpose, and a hope that comes only from hearing your voice. Calm the unrest that screams inside me. Silence the noise of doubt. Fill my heart with the assurance that even when everything feels stuck, you are working. Take my eyes and teach them to see beyond the circumstances. Help me notice your daily care, even in the smallest details. Teach me to wait without complaining, to trust without questioning, and to keep moving without giving up. Today, I exchange my weight for your lightness, my weakness for your power, and my anxiety for your faithfulness. Lord, sometimes everything around me seems still. Doors remain closed, answers are delayed, and the future feels like a fog-covered road. My natural eyes can only see limitations, delays, and disappointments. But today, I choose to take one more step. Even without understanding, I keep moving, not because I trust in myself, but because I trust in you. You are the one who makes a way where there is no path, who leads through the wilderness, who holds me when I feel like the ground is disappearing beneath my feet. I don't pray only for solutions, I pray for faith. That kind of faith that doesn't rely on what I see, but on what I know about who you are. Even when logic says stop, when my emotions say it's useless, I listen to your voice, the voice that says, trust me, I am your God. When the world offers shortcuts, I choose the path of heaven. When feelings try to control me, I anchor myself in your truth. Teach me, Lord, to walk even when there are no visible signs. Teach me to persevere when nothing seems to change, to believe that you are working even in silence. The hope that sustains me doesn't come from favorable outcomes, but from knowing that you are with me, holding my hand, guiding my steps, guarding my mind, protecting my heart. I don't want to live by human expectations. I want to walk by divine promises. So even when the road ahead seems unclear, I choose to go forward, because the one who walks with me is faithful. Lord, I used to think that waiting meant standing still and doing nothing. I thought waiting was a pause in the journey, a sign that things weren't moving. But now I see that waiting is a sacred space. It's where you shape me, where you speak in whispers that only a still heart can hear. While the world rushes and demands speed, you invite me into slowness, not to delay my life, but to deepen it. The waiting season is not wasted. It's the ground where faith matures, where patience takes root, where trust grows stronger than the storm. Waiting is not absence, it is preparation. In the silence, you are building endurance in me. In the hidden places, you are strengthening what eyes cannot see. Just like the eagle trains in the heights before it ever soars, I know you are preparing me for something greater. I don't want to skip this process. I don't want to rush what you are refining. Let this waiting shape my character, my vision, my worship. Teach me to recognize that even in stillness, you are active. Give me eyes to see what you are doing beneath the surface. Remind me that roots grow deep before fruit is seen. Guard me from comparing my journey to others. Help me embrace the quiet work you are doing in my heart. I don't want a rushed blessing. I want one that's built on solid ground. And while I wait, I choose to worship. I choose to believe. I choose to trust that the God who promised is faithful, and the God who prepares never delays without purpose. Lord, not every fall was intentional. Some were the result of wounds I didn't speak about. Others came from fatigue I tried to hide, but I fell. And instead of getting up, I settled. I got used to the ground, to the dust of disappointment, to the silence of resignation. I started to believe that maybe this was all there was for me. But something inside me awakens when I hear your word. You did not create me to live in defeat. You are not the God who abandons. You are the God who restores, who lifts, who renews. And today, I dare to rise again. Not because I feel strong, but because I know you are near. Not because I have everything together, but because I trust in your grace. Lord, I bring you what remains of my courage and ask you to rebuild in me what life has torn down. If I must start from the beginning, then I will do it with you. If the path is long, then I will walk it one step at a time. But I will not stay down, not when your hand is extended, not when your voice is calling, not when your spirit is breathing life into dry places. Strength is not the absence of weakness. It is choosing to rise in the presence of it. Today I choose to rise again. I let go of shame. I surrender regret. I embrace this moment as a turning point, because those who wait on the Lord are not forgotten. They are being renewed. And even when the world cannot see the change, I know something is shifting inside me. You are giving me a new beginning, and with it, you are giving me the strength to become everything you created me to be. Lord, I remember the days when my heart burned for you, when every word from Scripture stirred something deep in my soul, when time in your presence felt like the most sacred part of my day. But somewhere along the way, I drifted. The fire dimmed. The noise around me became louder than your voice. The passion I once had turned into routine, and what used to be desire became duty. I didn't plan to grow distant, but life pulled me in too many directions. Now I realize I've been moving without the flame that once gave my steps meaning. So today, I stop everything and return. Not because I want to feel emotional, but because I miss the intimacy. I miss the sound of your whisper. I miss the quiet moments where I knew I was exactly where I needed to be. I ask you to breathe again on the embers of my spirit. Ignite what has faded. Awaken what became numb. I don't want to serve you with tired hands and a distracted heart. I want to live in awe again. I want to weep again in your presence, not out of sadness, but from the joy of being near you. Take away the layers of indifference. Strip off the shell of spiritual apathy. Fill me with hunger for what is eternal. Let my heart crave your word again. Let worship become my atmosphere and prayer my breathing. Reignite in me the kind of faith that moves mountains and the kind of love that silences fear. I don't want to go through life without being set ablaze by your presence. Light the fire in me again and let it never go out. Lord, fear has been a silent voice for too long. It has spoken over my steps, whispered doubts in my thoughts, and held back the dreams you planted in me. It disguised itself as caution, but deep inside, it was always resistance. Resistance to change, to growth, to obedience. Fear told me I would fail. It convinced me I wasn't good enough. It made me shrink when you were calling me to rise. But today, I confront it in your name. I don't want to walk another step shadowed by fear. I want to step into what you've called me to do with courage that doesn't come from my strength, but from yours. The promise of Isaiah 40 reminds me that those who hope in you are not weak. They soar, they run, they move forward with energy that only heaven can provide. That is the kind of boldness I ask for now. Not confidence in myself, but holy boldness rooted in trust. Trust that you are ahead of me. Trust that you are within me. Trust that you go behind me. Lord, make me brave. Again, not reckless, but ready. Not loud, but secure. Let my yes be firm when you call. Let my steps be steady when the unknown waits ahead. I don't want fear to be the lens through which I see life. I want faith to be my vision. Speak louder than every insecurity. Strengthen me to obey even when I don't feel qualified. Let the fear of man lose its grip on me. Let the fear of failure dissolve in the truth of who you are. I am not walking alone, and when I walk with you, there is no room for fear. Fill me with your boldness, the kind that changes atmospheres, prays with fire, serves with compassion, and loves without limits. Lord, there are moments when my sight is blurred, not by my physical eyes, but by the weight of confusion, disappointment, and doubt. I look around and can't see where I'm going. The path ahead is clouded by circumstances that don't make sense. The promises feel distant, the prayers seem unanswered, and it's hard to keep moving when clarity disappears. But you never asked me to walk by sight. You called me to walk by faith. Today, I ask you to restore my vision, not the one that depends on what I see, but the one that sees what you've spoken. Open my eyes to recognize the evidence of your faithfulness. Help me to discern the hidden miracles that have surrounded me all along. When fear tells me nothing is changing, let faith rise up and declare that you are always working. When my plans fall apart, let my vision remain fixed on the one who never fails. Lord, strip away every filter of discouragement. Wipe clean the lenses of comparison, regret, and unbelief. Let me see through your eyes, not through the lens of limitation. If I've focused too long on what's missing, redirect my gaze to what you're building. If I've stared at closed doors, turn my head toward the new ones you are opening. I don't want to be led by what's visible. I want to be guided by what's eternal. The clouds may linger, but the light of your truth breaks through every fog. Even when I can't see far, I know you see the end from the beginning. And that's enough for me to take the next step, because those who wait on you may not always see the road clearly, but they always reach the destination you have prepared. Lord, there are moments when silence feels heavy. Prayers echo back without answers. Doors remain shut. The waiting stretches longer than I thought it would, and quietly, a question begins to grow in my heart. Did you forget me? Have you turned away? The mind knows what the word says, but the heart aches when time keeps passing and nothing seems to change. But even in the middle of this silence, I choose to lift my eyes. I choose to remember who you are. You are the God who never sleeps. You are the shepherd who never loses sight of one single sheep. You are not distant. You are not absent. And you are not slow as I understand slowness. You are deliberate. You are precise. You are perfect in all your ways. And even when I can't feel you, I know you are holding me. When I think nothing is happening, you are preparing everything. When I feel hidden, you are forming something deeper in me than visibility could ever offer. I am not abandoned. I am not overlooked. I am loved, seen, known. You saw me before I was born. You counted every hair on my head. You catch every tear that falls. So how could I ever be forgotten by a God who pays attention to the smallest details? Today, I silence the lies that try to speak louder than your truth. I may feel forgotten, but I will declare that I am remembered. I will worship not because I see the answer, but because I know who my Father is. And when the enemy tells me it's over, I will say with boldness, my story is still being written, and the author never leaves the page. Lord, there are days when I wake up feeling like the fire has gone out. The dreams that once stirred my heart now feel buried beneath layers of delay and disappointment. The promises I held onto seem distant, as if spoken to someone else. Life has a way of wearing down hope, and sometimes I find myself just trying to survive instead of living with purpose. But then I remember what you said. I remember the moments when you whispered to my heart in the quiet spot, when you confirmed through scripture, when you sent people to remind me of what you have planned. Those were not just feelings, they were seeds of destiny. And though time has passed, your word has not expired. You are not like man that you should lie, nor like the Son of Man that you should change your mind. What you spoke, you will fulfill. And when I remember that truth, something begins to shift inside me. I feel my spirit rise. I feel strength returning where weariness had settled. Because my hope is not in my own ability to make things happen, but in your power to do what you promised. Even if the timeline looks nothing like I expected, even if everything around me says it's too late, I choose to believe that you are still working behind the scenes. Lord, let the memory of your promise become fuel in my soul. Let it remind me that this is not the end of the story. You are not done with me. If you said I would walk in victory, then this valley is only part of the journey. If you said I would see restoration, then what's broken now will be whole again. And if you said I would soar like an eagle, then I know these weary wings will rise. Let every day that I waited become a testimony of endurance. Let every tear I cried become a reminder that faith is being refined in the fire. And when I feel tempted to give up, bring back to my heart what you promised. Bring it back with clarity. Bring it back with weight. Because your promises are not suggestions. They are declarations from a God who never fails. Lord, I don't want to just survive this season. I want to be renewed in it. I don't want a momentary relief that fades after the tears dry. I want a lasting transformation that changes how I think, how I walk, and how I live. You promised in Isaiah 40 that those who wait on you will renew their strength, not borrow strength, not pretend to have it, but be truly, deeply, and supernaturally renewed. That's what I open my heart for today, a divine exchange where you take what is tired, bitter, and broken, and in return, you place courage, peace, and clarity. I've tried to fix myself. I've tried to ignore the weariness and keep going, hoping that things would get better on their own. But now I understand that only you can make me new from the inside out. So I surrender every worn-out place within me. I give you my exhausted thoughts, my heavy emotions, my disconnected routines. I give you the version of me that has been running without purpose and fighting battles alone. And in return, I ask you to fill me with your breath. Let your spirit revive the parts of me that have fallen asleep. Let your truth reframe the way I see my life. Let your presence become the fuel for everything I do moving forward. I believe that new beginnings don't always start with open doors. Sometimes they start in secret, with a whispered yes in the middle of an ordinary day. And today, I say yes to what you're doing in me. I say yes to the reset, yes to the shift, yes to the breakthrough. Even if nothing looks different yet, I believe something is already changing. You are restoring my strength. You are recalibrating my vision. You are calling me to walk in rhythm with your spirit and no longer be driven by fear or pressure. I don't want to step into what's next carrying the burdens of yesterday. I want to walk light. I want to walk free. And I want to walk ready. Let this renewal be more than emotional. Let it be spiritual, mental, physical, and visible. Let it show in my attitude, in my relationships, in my decisions, in the way I pray. Prepare me for what you've prepared for me. Prepare me for the people you're sending, the assignments you've ordained, the healing you're bringing. I declare that I am being renewed right now. The old strength has served its season. Now I rise with new strength. And with it, I step forward into everything you've called me to become. Lord, now that I've received your renewal, I realize there are still parts of me that haven't moved, places in my soul that remain locked behind invisible doors, memories I've buried deep because they hurt too much to face, patterns I keep repeating even when I know they're holding me back, areas where freedom feels like a distant dream and healing still feels unfinished. But today, I invite you into those hidden places. I open the rooms I've closed for years. I surrender not only what I show others, but what I've kept to myself. You are not afraid of my mess. You are not intimidated by my past. You are the God who walks into the dark with light in his hands and restores what no one else can reach. I ask you to tear down every wall I've built with fear, with pride, with disappointment. If I've hidden behind anger, break through it. If I've worn shame like armor, remove it. If I've allowed regret to become my identity, rewrite my name with your mercy. Don't let me carry into my future the wounds of my past. Heal me so deeply that I stop responding from pain and start living from purpose. Heal the trauma I never talked about. Heal the rejection I pretended didn't affect me. Heal the bitterness I spiritualized instead of confronting. I want to live whole. I want to live free. And I know that you are not only willing, you are able. Unlock the parts of me that are stuck in cycles of fear, comparison, addiction, or insecurity. Show me where I've made agreements with lies. Reveal where I've accepted limits you never placed on me. If there are internal vows I made in survival promises like I'll never trust again or I'll always do it alone, break them now with the power of your truth. I don't want to be my own prison. I want to be a temple filled with your spirit, a life fully alive to your presence. And I know this kind of freedom doesn't come from effort. It comes from surrender. So I surrender now. All of it. Don't let my past decide my next chapter. Don't let what happened to me become who I am. I was not created to live behind walls. I was created to rise on wings like eagles. And if you are with me, then nothing in my past can stop what you're doing now. The God who strengthens the weary is also the God who breaks chains. So come, Lord, and break every invisible chain. Pull me forward, unlock the purpose still trapped inside me, because I am ready to live beyond the pain. I am ready to be fully free. Lord, I've been through valleys that left me breathless. I've walked through seasons where every step felt like a weight. There were days when all I could do was survive. Nights when I cried quietly, not wanting anyone to see how tired I really was. I've learned to smile while bleeding, to lead while limping, to function while broken. And even though I've carried the pain with grace, it still lives under the surface. But today, I stand in your presence and declare that my pain does not disqualify me. It prepares me. What hurt me will not hold me. What broke me will not define me. You are calling me to rise, not after the pain is gone, but while I'm still healing. Not once I have it all together, but right here, in this fragile state, because you are my strength. I don't need to wait until I feel worthy. You already made me worthy. I don't need to fix everything first. I just need to say yes. And so I say yes. Yes to standing again. Yes to hoping again. Yes to believing that you still have more for me. I won't let my past convince me that I'm too far behind. I won't let my scars silence the dreams you've placed in my heart. Every place of pain becomes a place of power when it's surrendered to you. You don't waste anything. The losses, the betrayals, the disappointments, you use them all. And what the enemy meant to bury me, you will use to build me. So I rise not as someone who never suffered, but as someone who met you in the fire and chose to walk forward with courage. I rise because you carried me through the valley. I rise because I hear your voice calling me higher. I rise because you promised that those who wait on you will renew their strength. I'm not running away from what hurt me. I'm walking through it, into healing, into purpose, into a new identity that is not shaped by wounds, but by your word. Let today mark the moment I stopped settling for survival and started walking in victory. Let this be the day I decided that the pain behind me is not greater than the promise before me. I am ready to rise, Lord, and I'm not rising alone. I rise, carried by your Spirit, lifted by your truth, empowered by your grace. Lord, I've faced walls that looked unmovable. I've stood in front of circumstances that felt impossible. I've heard the voice of fear telling me to turn around, to give up, to settle for less than what you promised. But deep inside me, there is a whisper louder than the fear, stronger than the doubt. It's the voice of faith. It's the knowing that you didn't bring me this far to abandon me now. That the God who gave me breath also gave me boldness. He didn't place dreams in me just to watch them die. He didn't plant seeds in my heart for them to wither without harvest. You are a God of fulfillment, a God who finishes what he starts. And today I decide that my faith will be louder than the resistance. Let every obstacle in front of me feel the weight of heaven backing my steps. Let every closed door remember that you open what no man can shut. Let every limitation in my mind be replaced by the limitless truth of your word. I choose faith, not because it's easy, not because I feel brave, but because I know who you are. You never fail, you never forget, you never walk away. And if you are for me, what obstacle could possibly stand against me? Today I stop measuring my future by what I see. I stop giving power to what threatens me. I lift my eyes higher and fix them on the one who sits above it all. Obstacles are not a sign of failure. They are invitations to trust you deeper, to believe when it would be easier to quit, to worship while I wait, to walk even when it hurts. Faith is not the absence of struggle. It's the decision to keep moving while the struggle still exists. So I take one more step, and then another, and another. Not in my strength, but in yours, because you promised that those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint, and they will overcome. I declare today that my faith is greater than my obstacles, that my confidence in you is greater than the size of any mountain, that no matter how many storms rise, I will not drown, because I walk by faith. I live by faith, and faith always leads me straight into the promises of God. Lord, there are moments when the path feels unclear. I ask questions and hear no answers. I try to connect the pieces of my journey and it still doesn't make sense. I thought I would be further by now. I thought certain things would have changed. I thought I would understand what you're doing, but I don't. And in this place of mystery, you are still inviting me to move forward. You are calling me not to figure it all out, but to trust. to trust that you are not lost, that even when I am confused, you are in complete control, that even when I don't see the whole picture, you are writing every line of the story with purpose and care. I don't need to see to believe. I don't need to feel certainty to obey. You never promised that I would understand everything, but you did promise that you would be with me in everything, and that is enough. So I walk. I walk through the fog. I walk through the unknown. I walk through the silence, because I am not walking alone. You are beside me. You are before me. You are within me. My steps are not perfect, but they are anchored in your grace. My direction may feel uncertain, but my faith is fixed. I believe that every step I take in obedience is leading me closer to what you've prepared. Even when it looks like nothing is changing, something is growing in me. Perseverance is forming. Wisdom is taking root. Strength is rising. You are shaping me in the waiting, training me in the quiet, strengthening me in the press. I declare that I will not stop walking. I will not stop praying. I will not stop believing. Because your word says that those who wait on you will soar, run, and walk without fainting. So I take this step, not because I understand, but because I trust. I trust that you are God. I trust that you are good. I trust that you are leading me, even when I don't recognize the road. And when the moment comes when I finally see the why behind the waiting, the purpose behind the pain, the blessing behind the battle, I will look back and thank you for giving me the strength to keep walking. Because with you, I overcome even when I can't see, and I am never alone. If this prayer spoke to your heart and reminded you of God's love, write amen in the comments. Don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, share it with someone who also needs this moment with God, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next prayers. You might be the answer to someone's prayer today. Leave your prayer request in the comments as well. It will be an honor to pray for you.